Now, my go-to saying is I don't fill vacancies, I prevent them. And I just want to walk you through the steps that I take to have that zero vacancy happen every single turnover. So the first thing is I notify my existing tenants 5 months in advance to their lease ending. Two situations: one, whether we're going to renew them or not, and two, whether or not their rent is increasing or staying the same. And the reason why I do that is because I want to give them ample time, if in fact the market did change and we are going to increase rent, that if it's something that they really don't want to continue to pay for and they want to shop around, they have an opportunity to. So from that point, I give them 30 days to let me know what their plans are. And if they're choosing to stay, that's all great. I send them, their updated lease, whether they want to do month to month, like we work out those logistics because we'll typically have that relationship at this point. But if they give us the unfortunate news that they are not going to renew, the next step is listing the apartment immediately and start marketing it on credible sources like Zillow, for example. Now, of course, it is now 4 months before their lease is up and they're still paying to live there, and you want to be as respectful to their space as possible. So what I like to do is ask them, give me please like 3 days during the week that I can schedule tours, give me time preferences, and I will do my very best to work around your schedule. And I've honestly never had, in my almost 6 years of managing my own rentals, had anyone push back and say no, that I couldn't do that. Maybe that speaks to the relationship that I have with my tenants during their tenancy, or maybe, I don't know, they're just reasonable people, but I really never had an issue with that. And they honestly appreciate me working around their schedule. So when an applicant comes in and they want to move forward, it's an immediate same day, send the credit and background check, get your references. If all of that checks out, the lease goes out, and with 48 hours, they need to sign and return it back to me. I do everything through DocuSign, so it makes that very easy. But from there, the unit is not secure unless they pay their security deposit and first month's rent. Once I get those payments, then the listing removes from Zillow. If I don't have that, it stays up and I continue to market the unit. I can't tell you how many times people say yes, 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 and I send out the lease, and then, right before the 48th hour when it's due, they back out for whatever reason. And that's fine, but you don't want to, lose out on all the other applicants that were really strong that you also, spent the time to give tours to. You don't want to have to start that process all over again. At least you'll still have people in the queue that you already gave tours to and more people that are still inquiring. And then for the 30 days out, this is more so for my existing tenants, but I always send them an email that explains all the expectations, what costs will be if they choose not to do certain repairs, so they're aware. And I always offer a pre-walkthrough, and that's always well received. And the reason why I do that is I'm not in the business of keeping security deposits. I never want to do that if it's not necessary. So, and the tenants also really appreciate that too. So we'll go through it together. I'll tell them what they need to take care of before they leave. Most of the time, I tell them it's fine. And if there's a lot of wear and tear, of course, I'm not going to charge them for that, but I do ask if the handyman, or if it's a specialist like a plumber or an electrician, whoever it is, can come in, during their week of move out to have those things taken care of. And 10 out of 10 times I've had them say yes. So I've done that. And because we're getting in there that week prior, I'm able to have those people move out, the existing tenants that are moving out, have the cleaners come in, and then me or the handyman do, the last minute checks for changing batteries on, smoke detectors, have the plumber clear out the drains, change the water filters and the fridges, all that kind of turnover stuff, clean the appliances. Usually I'll have the cleaners do that. And then a couple hours later, the new tenants can move in, and that's how we have zero vacancy. Because we're able to get in there really that week prior, you really don't have to lose a day in rent.